Cheeseburger Day. Tonight we are Dances with Kobolds, and tonight we are playing Storm King's Thunder with me, Stephanie. Tonight I am joined by...
Oh, shoot,
Ian.
is that me? I never go first, sorry.
I'm Ian, I'm playing.
And I'll be playing Gerald Rockefeller Dodge, the Life Cleric Bard.
I'm Patrick. I'll be playing Pimble Nugget Forbath, a gnome divination wizard. And these are my portents for the day.
Ooh.
4 and
those
12.
Are good.
I am Brendan. I'll be playing Heracles, son of Torm, a human zealot barbarian.
And I am Lorne. I am playing Hungul Stunjo, Goliath Rogue.
Thank you all for joining me this evening. Some announcements first before we get into our backgrounds. First off, this is for Extra Life. So in the doobly-doo down below, please consider donating to Extra Life either under us or under, was it Chris Lindsay?
Chris Lindsay, if he earns $500,000 for Extra Life, will unlock for the season starting September 2019, Player's Handbook +2 for all characters created for that season.
I don't think we should do the Extra Life anymore. We're not getting the potion. And
We are getting the potion.
Those sick kids out there, what are they doing for anyone being sick and all?
You mean the sick kids like you? Like you were at Sick Kids Hospital with your goat disease?
Yes, those kids. Those lazy children.
Hey, I also had to go into Sick Kids for unroutine surgery when I was very, very young.
See? Lazy children, a lot of us.
And, well, I luckily never had to. My brothers were at the Children's Hospital of Philadelphia, where I'm from, because they almost died of asthma and pneumonia at the same time.
Noasia or asmonia? Asmonia sounds better.
No, what happens is they had already had asthma, and then they got pneumonia, but an asthma attack and pneumonia sound really, really similar. And then you take your nebulizer, but the pneumonia puts a fluid and mucus in your lungs, so the asthma medication doesn't get to it. The people at the ER thought my mom was being crazy and hysterical, and we're just like, oh, they're just having an asthma attack, until my mom flipped shit, forced them to get an x-ray, and it's like, oh, your kid's lungs are full of fluid, they have pneumonia. True story, everyone. So support your local children's hospital.
We are level 7. Everyone, we are level 7.
Oh,
Yay!
then I did level up. Okay.
We should have started with 26,508 experience, assuming we all had earned all the same experience values.
And there is a handy-dandy calculator because the new Season 8 rules are in effect. Where it's now character advancement points and treasure points. But you can do that on the way. So where was I about to say? Yes, so please consider donating either via us or Chris Lindsay. If everybody who ever played Adventures League in the US donated like $1, we would blow through that, and then next season everyone could get Player's Handbook +2. Okay, so backstory. Last where we left our heroes. Not only did our heroes save not only Tribor, but Bryn Shadar. They wandered around the north for a while, helping people in need, doing some quests. And then they were summoned by Acquisitions Incorporated to investigate the Cloud Giant Sanctum and negotiate a peace treaty. Having been successful in saving the Cloud Giant Prince's life, you were invited to a feast. Magic items were given to you. Did we handled that last time, right? I can't remember because it was getting late.
We did, however, there is a small issue with the magic item. I remember I took the Rapier of Wounding because I didn't have a magical weapon yet, and it appears as an unusual rapier in my inventory. because it hasn't been identified apparently.
Okay, Pimple has identified.
No, I don't.
Wait,
That's okay.
That's why we brought him, isn't it?
I can identify it over a short rest, which I assume we've had at least a long rest because we
Yes.
leveled up.
You do have at least a long rest.
So I don't know if you have to adjust it or. What?
Let me look in the inventory. It might have. Okay. Is it in your personal inventory?
It's in my personal inventory. If you scroll to my inventory, it's the second last option, unusual rapier.
There we go. Item has been identified.
To a rapier of wounding. Yay!
Yay! Who got the shield? I guess Heracles got the shield, or did Gerald get the shield?
I don't have any shields in my inventory, and I don't use shields because
I thought it went to Gerald because he has proficiency in.
Yeah, I got Sentinel Shield here.
Yeah.
plus I already had a magic item. What else did I get?
What's Sentinel Shield do again?
It's amazing. It doesn't require attunement, but it gives you advantage on perception checks and your initiative checks as well, I believe.
Does it have a little vision, like a little like welder's mask, so you can look through it, so you can get a better view?
It is in our inventory, and I just hit ID'd.
Yeah, you can. I think you no longer can be surprised, and
You have advantage on initiative rolls.
And perception checks, that's it. Oh, and it also glows blue whenever a giant is nearby.
You
What
should
color
know
is it now?
if you have advantage on perception checks, that means you also have +5 passive perception.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Well, effectively, a plus or advantage is equal to a +5 on any passive. So if something else were to give you a +5 to a skill, the passive version of it gets a +5.
I will have to adjust.
Is that still a +2?
You get a +2 to your AC, but you also get a +5 to your passive perception. I will have to do that to my dwarf cleric Hildegard.
Yeah, I have Eyes of the Eagle on my barbarian, and that gives him advantage on perception checks as well. Unfortunately, advantage on advantage does not stack, so no doubling up.
I mean, it prevents.
But it does stack with the +5 from observant.
Yeah, because that's just a standard +5, isn't it?
It's specifically a +5 to passive.
Yeah, that's specific, whereas advantage is general.
Sorry, I'm just saying hello to everyone in the chat. Before we leave Cloud Giant's bargain, was there anything anybody needed to clarify or anything like that?
Giants suck.
Oh, are you saying that to the prince's face, the one you just saved and was a good one?
No. Just in general to the party as we leave, when there's no giants around. Wait, is Hongo a giant?
He's a
He
mini
is to me.
giant.
I'm giant kin.
what scrolls
Giants
did I
suck.
get, Stephanie?
No offense, Hongo. No offense.
What was that, Patrick, or aka Thimble?
What were the scrolls that I found in the library there?
You found a scroll of confusion and a scroll of Ultiluke's resilient spear. They are also in the main inventory.
Thank you. I will scribe those when we next get a chance.
I've uncircled them in ID, so maybe that's why you're not seeing them, and I am.
Oh man, Pimple's gonna get so mad when we like spitballs at him while he's trying to scribe a scroll.
I'll just cast Hypnotic Pattern on you guys.
Actually, that might be something that Gerald requests when you have an extra spell slot at the end of the day.
Just helps you sleep that much better at night.
Oh, it does.
All right, and with that, you were elevated to a high rank of the high rank of intern in Acquisitions Incorporated, and you feel very warm and fuzzy feelings inside. With your newfound fame, Daranatha summons you back to Tribor. And you make your way to Tribor, or you're able to teleport to Tribor. One of the Acquisitions and Corporations folks gives you a teleport. Upon arriving there, let me open up Daranatha. Oh wait.
Man, I wish we could have gone through Red Larch. It's such a convenient spot between all these places, and they do have that great crumble cake.
I know, right?
But they have that creepy statue where the eyes follow you when you're walking through the town.
That statue is so disturbing.
Oh, and did you see where that one's hand is? Oh, God.
For the folks watching at home, they're talking about their previous characters in their Princes of the Apocalypse campaign. Save the lovely town of Red Larch, and the
Twice.
secret recipe twice, and the secret recipe for crumble cake.
Turns out you make the crumble before the cake. Who knew?
And just so people will remember what Daranthra looks like. She goes to you, she summons you back to Tribor and says, "You guys have proven yourselves. Not only did you also save Bryn Shadar and support Golden Fields, you've taken out a few other minor threats as well on your travels. Now I think it's time for us to get, as one would say, greater help. Do you guys know anything about Force Grey?"
Well, I know when when I was young, and I was acting out, my mother said I was forcing my father gray. Is that related?
They're a police force in some other town, right?
In the City of Splendor's Waterdeep, right?
Closer, Pimble. Well, I guess it has been some time. You all are a bunch of whippersnappers compared to me anyway. Force Grey was at the time, famous adventuring party. They were Why are you laughing, honey? Oh, it's stupid Reddit nonsense. Okay. Force Grey was an adventuring party, known for being not so careful and a wee bit flamboyant. Some people consider them villains. Some people consider them grand heroes. Most people consider them somewhere in the middle. More, please kill that great dragon inside, but don't invite him to dinner with your grandmother's fine china, if you get my drift.
Sure.
However, most of the members of Force Grey have either passed on or are well into retirement. But let me introduce to you your new ally. And she takes you a little ways outside of town to almost this glen.
A quiet place to gank us?
No. And she will come out to the field and say, and speak in giant and say,
Oh, what color's my shield?
it's glowing blue.
There's a giant around. Everybody, draw your weapons.
Stop! Stop!
I don't have a pad to draw my weapon on, or a piece of a pencil or anything.
Well, then draw it in the dirt, damn it.
Anyway, she was like, calm down. Calm down. Harshnag! And out of this glen comes out a large frost giant with a white dragon skull on his head.
Cool.
And a gigantic axe that Pimple, you can tell, has elements of frost magic.
Pimble is just sort of staring wide-eyed and just a little bit slack-jawed at this point.
We can take him.
There's no need. He's chaotic good. And Daranthra will kind of roll her eyes a little bit. And she'll say, thank you for waiting here, Harshnag. With all the issues with giants lately, I felt it was better for my people to not have a heart attack. And with that, Harshnag will say, oh, that's okay, eh?
She's Canadian.
And surprisingly calm and soft-spoken. He's not like the frost giants you fought before that were almost wild and wanting to prove themselves with sort of large egos. And he will actually bend down and come closer to you and say, and who might you all be?
What, like down to all of us?
I'm
Yes.
Nugget. People call me Nugget, but my name's Pimble, sir.
No, it's Sir Pimble, not Pimble, sir.
Oh.
I'm not I'm not noble in any way.
Oh yeah, he's the big leader of the party. He's oh man, watch out for this one.
I'd have been dead a dozen times over if it weren't for Pimble.
And with that, a smile goes up over his face, and you almost get the idea that he's remembering his old adventuring party, and he's like, "Oh, don't be too modest now. Isn't there a song? I've heard a song about you, right?
You have, I wrote it.
I thought it was that. Was it other bard who wrote it?"
Oh no, she just does it. She didn't write it. She just does a better version of it.
Yeah.
Oh, that Yolanda Saranani. Do you have some history with her?
Oh, she's just better than him, and he's really sore about it.
I'm going to.
And he will actually come down to you and say, well, friend, sometimes we do just have to check. It's one thing to be proud of your accomplishments, but we can't let our egos get the best of ourselves. Be happy that she's talented too, and she's made your song very popular amongst the people.
Ah!
And that just
Gerald's hands will go up, and he will just storm off for a little bit. I'll be right back. I gotta pee.
Your character goes behind a tree and pees.
But he's complaining the whole time, and you can hear him pacing him just back and forth. Mother, ungrateful sons of bitches.
Wait. He's
Talk about
pacing while he's peeing?
He really
After.
shouldn't do that. Oh, that's disgusting.
He's being in anger. This is mine, and this is mine, and that's mine.
I'll just prestidigitate him and clean him up when he comes out. Don't worry about it. Like I usually do.
You shouldn't have to do that. That is disgusting.
Yeah, but then, it keeps me from having to walk upwind from him all the time. So,
Party
Fair
hard.
point, yes. Use him as human shield.
So what can we do for you, Harshnag, sir?
Well, it's not about what you can do for me. It's about what we can do for everyone. As you know, are you alright?
That just blew my mind, that's all.
Well, you're welcome. I know, yeah, and he would look a little embarrassed. And forgive my terrible Canadian accent. I am not Matt Mercer.
You're doing fine. Just
Okay.
don't say a boot. We don't say a boot.
Yeah, and to be fair, it really isn't just a Canadian accent. It's a Canadian John Wayne accent.
I think that's the best I can do. I could go full Newfie there then, now, boy. Then I'll just sound like my grandpa. Oh yeah, yep. It's what we can do for everyone. Oh, forgive me. What are your two names? And he'll point to Heracles and, Hongo.
I am Heracles, son of Torm.
Oh.
I just sort of, roll my eyes and mutter, not terribly loudly, but loud enough that he'll hear me. In Giant, we just sort of accept that and just let it be. I am Hongo Stonejaw, humble lawmaker.
And he'll bow his head to you. And he'll say in Giant, you never know. It could be true. I've seen crazier things.
Nah, it's not true.
His
Does
accent is
Heracles
good.
speak Giant?
No. Wait.
I think you definitely speak Celestial.
He speaks
No,
Celestial. I don't think he took
Draconic.
Giant.
Common, Celestial, Draconic.
Alright, so you don't know what they said.
It's not that we disrespect you. I just don't particularly believe you are the son of Torm. You're still a very good warrior.
Because I'm the son of Torm.
Harshnag will just shrug and be like, whatever.
As the great uncle told us back in our commune, anyone who really doesn't follow, Sego Jam Earthcaller is really just asking to be thrown into the pit of Hades anyway.
Ha 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 ha. Oh, you remind me. You remind me of my old party. Oh, so many adventures. But back to the, quest at hand. As you know, the ordning has been shattered. I believe my friend, Zephyr found you originally in Nightstone. He told me about you. He made a lot of talk about you changing fate, and I don't know much about all that, but I think we can, get along very well together and, hopefully fix everything. But I come with even worse news from Giant Kind. Not only has the ordning been shattered, but King Hecaton, the king of the Storm Giants, and once the High King of all Giant Kind, is missing. And his dear wife was found dead. Supposedly it's small folks' hands. Although I'm not very sure about that story. Not only does she love the small folk, she is quite a formidable warrior in her own right. If a bunch of small folk did attack her, she probably would have run away, or she would at least be able to defend herself.
I'm back. Why are Pimble's people attacking people?
You're talking to someone 3 times your height.
He has
We're
bent
small
down
folk.
he has sort of bent down to talk to you.
Now, the major domo for the prince that we just spoke to tried to blame giant deaths on us too. So I wonder if there's some sort of cabal of giants that's actually behind this.
My thoughts exactly. It seems quite, what's the word in common? It seems quite convenient that both the queen and our king our queen would be killed, and then our king would have disappeared so short in such a short time. It really doesn't make any sense after hundreds of years of relative stability, even if it wasn't always peaceful. It's why I believe we need greater help, even more than me. It is time for us to consult the Divine Oracle.
Do we get to travel under your forest gray cabochad?
What's a cabochad?
Means heraldry, banner.
He smiles and says, only if you want to, understanding what a whatever that word was.
You'll learn
Cabocht.
how. You'll learn his words.
No.
No,
Out
you
of
won't.
character,
Nobody
he
does.
like a Harshnag is over 100 years old and would have understood that. So Harshnag understood that. I just didn't. It is a mountain temple built by ancient giants under the spine of the world in the far north. I call it the Eye of the All-Father.
What do others call it?
Oh, well, you know, various giant
I would-
tribes will call it the eye or the sword or the blah 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 of their chosen god.
I assume that there are people who live there all year round who would call it home.
That is a very good point.
Oh, I've heard this tale from every passing salesman.
Have you?
Yes. Either a ointment from the monks atop a mountain who know everything, or great wisdom from the monks atop a mountain who know everything. Literally, it seems like monks atop mountains are peddling half the curatives and cure-alls in the world.
Well, I'm going to be happy to say that this is just an oracle and not a monk. And you should not judge too harshly of people. Everyone is just trying to find their own peace in this crazy world we live in. I have found some strange wisdom from many a barkeep, and utter stupidity from many a sage. Don't be too hasty now.
Well then.
And also, if you know where this place is, surely you can lead us there. In fact, I think I have a map. Just point us in the right direction, and he'll give you a coy smile.
Maps, I know maps. I can do maps.
Okay.
I'll take the giant-sized map. I begin to unfurl it until it looks like I'm, holding a giant piece of paper. And start, pacing off. Then looking at the sun, doing a knowing nod. And then looking opposite the sun and, confirming my knowing nod.
I'm going to do a concentration check to make sure I don't try and laugh.
Sure.
I
Roll it.
managed to hold it in.
Yeah, my roll was pretty shitty. I was surprised my survival's that high. I forgot.
You know where the spine of the world is. And you point to it and say, somewhere there. And then Harshnag will go, where exactly is it?
Oh, well, that will take a. Let me just. Let me give that another. So if we carry the 2, and if somebody passes me their sextant, then it is definitely here.
And he'll just laugh at you and say,
19.
And he will just laugh at you and say, nope. But my friend, you are quite a fine bullshitter, and that is a wonderful skill to have.
Is he gonna say it's in our hearts?
Well, maybe
it's a
is.
physical location.
Yeah, I was asking Hongo more than anything else.
No, it's not in your hearts. I'm not that guy.
Oh, okay, good.
You're adults and are, too old for, what do you call them? Fairy stories. This, however, is real. I've been there once. It is ancient. And it is remote. But there is still great power in there.
Is this his map? Does he already have it marked? Is there like a mark in the middle of the mountains that's not related to the others?
You don't notice one. And he will notice you looking for it and go, do you think I would be so silly as to mark it on my map in a super obvious way so that someone might be able to steal my map or just kill me and take my map and go X marks the spot?
Well, I more assumed you'd have tons of markings and it would be the one not labeled, but yeah.
That is smarter than what most people do, but this is too important. I chose to keep it between myself and a few trusted friends, and now you. By going to see the Oracle, we might be able to figure out where King Hecaton is, or who is behind the death of our queen, and who, be they giant or small folk, that's involved.
So what you're saying is we have ourselves an old-fashioned murder case.
Indeed.
A who and or what done it.
Absolutely. Neri. Neri is the queen's name. There we go. We cannot let giant kind fall into chaos. We need order more than humans and some other small folk do. I am sad to say many of my kind have fragile egos and seek to just become king of everything for their own greed instead of helping others. If we can find out where King Hecaton is and the murderer of Queen Neri, we may be able to put the world for both giant kind and small folk at peace. I know that people say the Allfather did this on purpose to break us out of our complacency, but I do not know why a father would want his children to fight amongst themselves. Would you like to join me on my quest?
Of course.
I mean, there's lots of reasons a father could want his children to fight.
You have the noble background. You have a noble background, don't you?
Yes.
I can tell.
Sometimes parents are just dicks.
I don't know. My dad seems okay.
When's he coming to meet us?
We have to go meet him
He is.
in heaven.
I'm sure he is watching you now.
We were one big happy family in the commune under Uncle's watchful eye.
Oh, that's not ominous in any way.
I like how you went with uncle.
So are you quite literally a member of a cult?
It's slowly turning out that way, I think, for Pimble. He's not necessarily a member of a cult, but the gnome group that he was with certainly is probably
Cultish.
sliding a little more that way. Yes.
So, since you're a wizard, does that mean you studied occult stuff in a cult?
I was more raised by, or at least that was engendered by one of my aunts who, sort of got me out of there. But I'm not sure Pimble understands exactly what he's gotten out of yet.
These are the leader beans.
Oh.
Another good dollop, that one, where literally The Simpsons was making fun of a real cult. Which don't know why I'm surprised, but yeah.
All right, Oak. Does anyone else have any more questions?
Are we allowed to speak to the Oracle, or will you have to do it?
I believe that is up to the Oracle themselves.
Do we need to bring a gift? Offering?
One
Good
sec.
question.
One sec. Let me look that up.
I mean, we're going to be uninvited house guests. We should bring at least a bottle of cask of wine.
Pimble looks nervously towards Peach, his goat.
That would be a good gift. You know, and we wouldn't have to deal with the goat anymore if we gave that to somebody.
Oh, we could buy a bag of rice and we could do Pimble, put your fingers in your ears and I'll explain it to everyone else.
You could just get another goat, one that isn't someone's pet. It's not very nice to hurt someone's pets.
This guy's taking all the fun out of anything.
He is chaotic good, but he's very calm and
Chaotic downer.
no, he's positive. He's like, I'll believe in you.
So he's like wholesome Reddit, wholesome memes.
I kind of imagine him as like a berserker. What's his face? Won't you be my neighbor?
Mr. Rogers. I was gonna say he's the
Giant
Mr. Rogers.
berserker Mr. Rogers that believes in little adventurers. You can be a bloodthirsty barbarian too, if only you believe in yourself.
See, the Canadian kids had something called the Friendly Giant, which fits that mold perfectly.
We did.
Look up. Look way up.
You beat me to it.
I don't get it.
There was a kids show called the Friendly Giant,
and that is how the show started. It said, "Look up, look way up," and then
showing bits of doll furniture, then going up a tower.
Yeah,
and he had animal friends, Rusty the Rooster and
Rooster.
Jerome the Giraffe.
Jesus, they had no imagination. Like literally fucking no imagination. They must have been on so much coke at the time.
It was like what, the 70s, 80s?
It's almost the opposite of what Polka Dot Door was.
What? Polka Dot Door?
Oh, one day we'll regale you with the wonders and horror of the Pokeroo hunt.
The what?
I'm just shocked as you are.
Pokeroo. You should Google Pokeroo.
Pokeroo. Yeah, no.
Okay, the Friendly Giant ran from 1958 to 1985.
Oh yeah,
Holy
it was insanely long. Like,
Well, and I kept watching it well after that because I remember watching it mid '80s. So
the color episodes were put into syndication. The black and white ones, not so much.
Because we have the odd racial stereotype.
Actually, no.
did everybody Google Pokeroo? Pokeroo is Canadian Snuffleupagus. 1971. Wow.
And it had a woman who looked in a magic mirror, and she would look at it and say, "I see," and list kids' names. And so you'd watch the show waiting for her to say your name, thinking she could see you in her mirror.
They never said Ian, ever.
Really?
That I remember anyway. Ian was super uncommon. Ians of a certain age, no. Ians of a certain age are discriminating, understanding, men's men.
So that definitely does not describe you.
What that? Listen to me. I said of a certain age. Come on.
So definitely not. What are you, 35?
In and around.
You said you were 35 not 15 minutes ago.
Yeah, you said it live on air.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Old.
83. Yeah, so you're 35.
Yeah. But yes.
So is Harshnag just watching us talk about popular culture going, I don't know any of this?
I presume you're sort of talking amongst yourselves.
We're probably not talking about Canadian television shows in character.
Yeah, you're not talking about Canadian television shows in character. But he will.
That's all we got at the Great Wood. It was terrible. We had lousy reception. We had like 2 channels.
You couldn't even get Buffalo.
Patrick.
Yes?
Tonight on The Raccoons.
Ooh.
Oh man.
Anyway, I never actually met the Oracle themselves. However, I've been to the temple. I just felt no need to seek out my destiny, as I thought, I guess you could say. I believe we beings make our own destiny. Although there is a grand wheel of time. It keeps on spinning. There's no beginning. Points to anyone who gets the reference.
Is it a terrible book series?
It's a great book series that got bogged down.
Oh, is that what they say?
Is that Wheel of Time?
Yes, it's the Wheel of Time. I would have also accepted Blind Guardian's Wheel of Time song.
Oh God, well, I'll admit it, I quite like them a lot. Band with a terrible book series.
The book series is actually great, he just desperately needed an editor. And also figure out how women actually behave instead of, acting like he was out of the 50s.
Oh man, that sounds like George R. R. Martin. I should retry it then.
No, George R. R. Martin writes great female characters.
Khaleesi stepped out. No, she wasn't Khaleesi at that point. Daenerys stepped out into the cool night air. She felt her soft small breasts bounce beneath her open vest.
What?
What?
I have not actually watched or read this.
First of all, okay, Brendan, on top of your schoolwork, you are going to actually read Game of Thrones. And 2, George R. R. Martin's writing of women is better than Wheel of Time. However, Wheel of Time is not the worst. He just suffers from, I grew up in the 50s and, I do intellectually understand that women are equal, but I still have a lot of baggage.
As long as he's not a Mary Sue who eats apples and has a sword that can only kill people 100 times, times and goes off to BDSM land for like half a book isn't in the conversation, then we're all good.
Yeah, no, if that's the Sword of Truth series. I'm guessing?
Yes, I was referencing Sword of Truth. I have no apologies to any of our fans who are also fans of those books.
Never read it.
I thought for sure you were talking about Wise Man's Fears.
No, Wiseman Fears is so much better. There's no BDSM
Yeah, but he
land
goes-
in that book.
Well, when he goes
Oh,
and hangs
well.
out with the
The sex
exactly. When he goes
goddess,
and
yeah.
in the Feywild, yeah.
Is there a systematic culture of BDSM and forcing people to do what you say through tight leather, whippings, and sex?
No, not yet.
Then it's not Sword of Truth.
Good.
Oh, and they also own a third of the world because of a magic barrier. There's also that.
Okay, so back to the adventure proper. Well, back to your original question. It could never hurt to bring an offering if one is needed. I've never known someone to turn down a gift of alcohol.
Told ya. Okay, we'll get the barrel.
All right.
Elven, Dwarven, or Halfling?
Oh,
Oh, should we get
giants.
cheese too?
I think giants
big
like
wheel of
dwarves,
cheese?
right?
You like
More
what?
than other small folk.
Like which?
Dwarves, like more than other small folk, right?
I mean, dwarves kind of remind me of giants, if that makes any sense.
It doesn't. Dwarves are short.
No, but they kind of act like giants, don't they?
I think you guys are all being a little racist.
No,
Hey,
no.
nothing from the
Halflings
person who
are a little
calls us small folk.
I'm sorry. In my language, it's actually a nice word for your kind. But if it is actually offensive, I'm sorry, I didn't know. What should I call you?
Oh my god, this is like the tour guide in
Small folk is
Dominican.
fine.
This is like the tour guide in Dominican saying, they might yell gringo at you, but don't worry, here it's a good word.
He was lying.
Oh, we spent 3 hours talking about baseball. I could have shot myself, but I learned so much.
All right. I will stay out here for the night. Outside of Waterdeep, I actually prefer avoiding towns, and especially now I'm really careful. Even though I have killed some of my more evil frost giant kin, I totally understand with everything going on why people would make an assumption. Can you please go and gather supplies for our journey? It will take a little while. You'll probably want a horse and a cart and other supplies.
I've got that already.
Cold
I
weather
have a
gear.
horse.
I have a horse and a carriage.
Did I buy my camel yet?
I have Quagswag, my mastiff.
I think you bought it when everyone else bought their
I can't remember.
mount.
No, I typically buy a camel, but I can't remember if I did on this character.
I think you did.
If not, I'll buy one. So it doesn't matter. Camels are dirt cheap.
Alright, the rest of this was going to be more of a, what do you want to bring? Any preparations you want to do? And if anyone has any preferences for a particular villain you wish to take on.
Did anybody else grab the or pick up a a movable rod.
Nope.
Okay, then that goes against that idea. I was thinking that if we had two, we could figure out some sort of tent that we could, or platform that we could suspend in the air and rest on.
I thought you got an immovable rod.
I got one, but it can hang from it, and it could hold all of us. But I'm saying having two anchor points makes it far more stable for a comfortable tent.
Does Pimble have Liamon's tiny hut?
He does.
Yes, I'm sleeping in the hut. You can try your weird tent thing.
Well, I mean, can we do the hut on the rod?
No.
Was that a no because it won't work, or a no because it's a silly idea?
Yes.
It won't work. Yes is
The
a
old
better answer.
inclusive, the old inclusive or. No, we'll figure out a way to make this thing work. Ooh, maybe we should get like a steel, a thin piece of steel bar that we can put up against an outward opening door, put the rod against that. Remember how we did with the door before, but acid proof. Or no?
Wait, what door before? Like the door back in Prince of the Apocalypse door?
I can't. What game did we do it where? Oh, we put the. We were going into. I think it was a hag's room, and
No, it
we
was
put
the
a door
fire. The
against
fire priestess's room.
against a room of
Princess, I'm
acid
not
or
sure.
something, right?
Yeah, and then Seer Cloud killed her.
Yeah, but that was we just kind of put the door up against it and then hit the rod to hold it there. But then the acid
Right.
ended up eating through everything.
No, what ended up being that was actually quite clever. But then a genie came. It was able to gaseous form underneath the door and just hit the button to deactivate it.
Yeah, and then I booked it with my 100 feet of movement per turn to when
Seer was able to outdo
on
that
the way.
with teleporting.
Yes, but you were teleporting, en masse, and I was the only one who couldn't. But I was moving as much as you were, because monks, man, we get
Okay, so
around.
that may not work then. Can I get how much time do we have before we have to leave, Steph?
Have to leave what?
With the giant to the next place. How long do we have for makeover?
Well, at least 24 hours. Do you need more time?
Well, no, because this should be simple for a blacksmith. I want to make a because it's an immovable rod, right? And magic items are pretty much indestructible, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I want him to build so the rod can sit inside it. I want him to band it in iron and put spikes on either end so I can jam it into something like a piton, and it's also an immovable rod.
Ooh, I will have to double check that.
That should be something simple and quick for I'll pay 10 gold seems to be overpaying, and I'll pay that.
It's more, is it AL legal?
Oh yeah. Because I'm kind of being
Yeah.
fucky with this.
Yes. Alright, anyone else have any other questions before, or wants to do some makeover shopping, etc. before I call it a day? This was a small adventure. I'm just setting the scene for next week.
Oh, well, we get the camel.
I believe you already got the camel because I'm not sure how mounts are being done in Season 8. I'm not sure if you just buy them or something else.
Poorly.
Huh?
The
I was
answer
just
is
doing-
poorly.
No, I was just doing I just buy them off the list. And camel's on the list, so. And, after seeing that video on Reddit of a camel eating a cactus, I don't buy any animal feed no more.
I'm presuming when you all bought mounts at the same time and before you made it to around, I think in Bryn Shaddar you did it, so that's when it happened.
Was his name You Bastard, or was that a different game?
Isn't that your one for your katydid?
Oh, right, that's Katydid's camel. So then this one will be Biting Ass.
Okay. Anyone else?
After we end for the night, would you be willing to drop a enemy target in the combat tracker so I can test to make sure I've set up my weapon programming so my weapon of wounding actually wounds?
Yes, and also I did buy Rob Thwathy's add-ons for Fantasy Grounds. I just didn't get the time this weekend to install them. So maybe that's what'll fix it, but I will. Any last-minute question, quagmires, or concerns?
Nope, everything seems pretty good for me.
No, I think we just buy supplies, get prepped, fill up Heracles' wagon, put the junk in the trunk, as it were.
All right, so I'll throw Gerald in the trunk,
Ah, not me!
and especially all of his instruments.
And then there's a musical crash.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty slapstick. I like that.
Alright, and with that, it's been an hour, so you all earn 1 character advancement point and 1 treasure point, I believe, for tier 2?
Yeah, it's yes, it's tier 3 where it gets doubled.
Alright, and before we end for tonight, I would like to thank everyone for coming out to watch us. Thank you, Skinny Seahorse. Thank you, Inverted Triton. Thank you, Filderbeast. Thank you, Apricot Duke Fruit. Thank you, Commander Ruth. Thank you, Land Fusion. Welcome, Positivity Bot. Thank you all for coming. Are we going to be broadcast tomorrow? Are we doing our session 0, or are we doing the Spire?
No, I think we're doing. We need to stick to one specific schedule.
Yeah, if we're doing
Because-
schedule, we're doing yours.
All right,
If
yeah.
you're ready. If
Yeah,
you're
we're ready.
not,
I
then
actually need to read the
I'm good to
chapter.
go.
The first chapter.
My only fear is you need to find out if you're going up north next week or not, and thus won't be here.
I should know for tomorrow.
Alright, so maybe... So we're either doing the Spire or Session 0 tomorrow.
Plan
maybe
for
a bit of
session
both.
0. Plan for Brandon's.
Well, more... I don't think we're going to stream the Session 0, so I'm just trying to let everyone know.
Oh, are we not? Because we can.
I mean, sure we can. Either way, we'll be playing tomorrow. And on Thursday, we have Tomb of Annihilation with DM Patrick, aka Pimple. Also,
Sure do.
Also, in the doobly-doo down below, I am DMing for On CCC Con, which is a online convention. I will be using Fantasy Grounds, and I will be running a Tier 1 event called Nothing Happens in Elmwood. The times are down below. Click on the icon to be taken to the tabletop events page where you can sign up under Stephanie M. So if you're interested, please sign up. Otherwise, see you tomorrow. Bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
Good night.
Oh, we love the Seeker, or Sword of Truth.